Hello, everybody. Welcome to World One Podcast. I am your host again. This episode, Mr. Eddie V, the exuberant one. Thank you guys for joining us. Of course, I got my main man, Mr. LeGroux,
Hello.
Josh, and he is making his return, his his guest visit. Everybody, please welcome back the delicious.
Delicious. Okay.
Yes, delicious. The one that everybody just loves to see and hear from. Our good friend Dylan.
How's it going, guys?
Hello. How you guys doing?
Good.
I'm
good to be
good
back.
so far.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Yes, everybody, welcome back to another episode. You can find us on Twitter at World1 _1 podcast. You can also find us at Twitch at the World 11 podcast page and on YouTube. So, just getting to do the house keeping quickly, and Larry could edit that and do what he needs to do. But we got some great topics to discuss with you guys. Talk about some games that we are playing. But as it is October, the weather is changing. People are getting new games, but also catching up on their backlog and stuff. So, kind of want to ask you guys before we get into the show. Do you guys plan on working through the backlog through the holiday or anything?
If I get a chance to, yeah, there's a couple of games that are on my list to get through and play again. There's just some games that keep drawing me back, like Witcher 3. I want to play it again. Like I just, it's calling my name, but it's such a fucking time sink that
It feels like that.
You're making me scared, Dylan, because that's one of my backlog games.
Have you not played it?
No, I've never.
Oh,
I own it.
dude.
I own the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, I do.
And
The complete
it's calling
condition.
my name. It's calling my name, but I'm like, I don't know if I
Alright,
want to
have you
do it.
played
I just don't.
any other Witchers?
I have done Witcher 2,
Okay.
and I just kind of like dabbled in the first Witcher on Steam.
Okay, so you're familiar with like the controls and
Yeah.
stuff because it can
Yeah.
be overwhelming to
Yeah.
some new
I'm familiar
players.
with it, but I'm just kind of like,
Oh, dude, it's a time. Well, if you're anything like me, so like I'm somebody that like has to do all the side
Right.
quests, has to like get all the like. Where the cool thing about Witcher is like if you do side quests and if you find like hunt down gear and shit, like you can. The best gear is side quest gear. Like
Right.
so you gotta get it. And I don't know, it's just calling my name. So is Dragon Age. I want to replay
ooh, yeah.
all the Dragon Ages.
Only
even
when
two,
I
which is
only-
garbage.
I think I have two. I might have two. Inquisition is the Inquisition is the third one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
Yep.
I have that on like Xbox One, PS4,
Sure.
PS3. I haven't got through that whole game. I think I'm lost for some unknown reason. And maybe I probably have to start it
One
over again.
Is a bit of a slog, especially now. It's pretty dated. Like
Exactly.
the graphics aren't great. I love the controls personally. I like that old style, like RPG management shit. Like I'm a fan of that, but a lot of people don't like it. 2 to me was awful. Like when they mainstreamed everything.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, this is
Terrible.
trash. Yeah.
Yep.
And then Inquisition's good. It's not as good as 1. Like 1, if you like story-driven games, narrative-driven games, it's the best narrative-driven game I've ever played. Period. Hands down. Witcher's a close second. But 2 was just just forget about it. Don't even bother. But I gotta play through it again because I want to play through all 3. Because 4 will be coming out allegedly, within the next couple of years. So
I hope so, right?
If BioWare gets their shit together.
Well, if they
I-
don't get closed down,
I don't think it's BioWare's fault. Um, I kind of think EA hands was in that development for Anthem. Just saying. Um,
Oh, I'm sure it was, but here's the thing, man. Like, I love blaming EA for shit,
Mhm.
just like everybody else. But like on some level, dude, you're the developer. Like, you're making this game. Like, yes, they can rush you and stuff, but like, I mean, you got Andromeda, and then you follow Andromeda with Anthem. Like, it's just, it's not a good look, man.
Andromeda, I didn't have no problems with. I think if you know what, if Anthem was a linear style game, like a level based linear style game, I think more people would appreciate it. Um, because
Well, Anthem was a good game. I mean,
it
Anthem
was.
was a good game. It just wasn't fleshed out enough for what it, like you said, like what they said it was going to be.
Right.
Right.
This MMO RPG that you just keep playing for years. No, you didn't have the content.
Yeah, there's barely any content at launch.
Right,
Like I
right.
played it. The mechanics of that game very solid.
Mm-hmm.
Very solid.
Flying felt great.
Oh, it was
I love that
fun.
game.
Yeah,
Flying
it was
I mean, I think
fun.
Dylan and I even talked about it.
Yeah. But
We loved that game when it
But
first
they
came
had-
out.
it had nothing. Like there just
Yeah.
wasn't anything to
But
do.
I always wonder what was the content that this game was missing, what Anthem was missing, that people
End
An
game.
One
in-game,
End game content. Period.
any
I mean-
good MMO worth its
Yeah.
salt,
It didn't have
Yes.
raids. It did not have
dungeons.
it didn't have the loot beyond the story. It
Yeah.
just didn't
so
have
like the blueprint stuff and
Yeah. I mean, all sorts
I mean
of
it
stuff.
I think it had side quests. It kind
No,
of
it
had side
did.
quests in the
It
game,
did. Yeah, it did.
but and I wonder if it was that what more people wanted, like more side quests. Like of course
Personally,
in-game-
I wanted more just content. Like when I finished with the story, what do I do?
Mhm.
Right. Fly
You know,
around.
it had
and-
it had
do
plenty of the side quests, I think,
Mhm.
Eddie. You know, it had plenty of like the stuff to do, but it just didn't have like context to give it to me in. So I was like, okay, well, I didn't feel the need to play that. Like with
Which-
Destiny, the Destiny was kind of good. At the end of the game, I actually felt the need to play it because they had the raid already set up. They had
Mhm.
everything set up. So if I wanted to get in there, I had to keep playing.
which I could see because they developed that stuff along with the
Mhm.
campaign, so everything was all together.
It
Where
was revving you up to that.
yeah, where Anthem is just like this is the campaign,
that's
here go the
how-
side quests.
Any
that's
MMO again that's worth its salt is going to build its game up. It's going to everything leads to the raid. Everything leads
The first,
to that.
especially the first raid. Yeah.
Right. Like it all builds up to that point. You know, I mean, WoW. WoW has been doing it for fucking how long? 15 years?
17 years now.
Yeah.
I think because that's
15.
what Blizzard is known for. Blizzard
But
knows
they did it. They did it great.
right.
That's why
Blizzard,
it's still going.
right. Blizzard has that blueprint. They know how to develop content like that. They know how to build worlds and do more because pretty much that's all they've been doing as
Well,
a
fucking
company for
copy and
most of
paste like everybody else has been doing, you know?
yeah.
Just add your own little twist.
I think with Anthem, and then we'll get into what we're playing. Or I also got to hear from you, Josh. I'm sorry. I
That's
think
okay.
with Anthem, and I think I talked about this with some other people. Like, I think it when a company is not doing well with a product with a certain franchise or genre, it's time to switch it up. You know, Guerrilla Games is a great example because Guerrilla Games, you know, their Killzone series, people laughed at it, but you know, they know how to do a first-person shooter, Guerrilla Games, and whatever you think about Killzone, they have some good games, they have some good moments, but they switched it up when they did Horizon Zero Dawn, and
Oh,
it was
man,
just
that game
like
was amazing.
right, and it feels good when a developer could go in and try something different. And I really think, like, I think BioWare could do Anthem still, but make it linear. Make it a third person action game, cover based, but make it level style. Like, give us a full campaign. You can make a multiplayer if you want to. And then just when the game is over, that's it. You know, it could be $40 a downloadable game or something. Like, it could be a short 6 or 7 hour campaign. They already got the mechanics, they already got the design, so just do something like that. You know, don't make a overarching story unless you want to see the sales success and then follow up with something. You know, like BioWare in this time just needs to do something different. With EA allowing them to do something different, that would be the question, because I could see BioWare not closing down, but actually after Dragon Age 4, them actually doing something completely different. Like, literally going into a different genre and doing something different. Like, make it feel something that feels like BioWare, or a fresh or a new version of BioWare. Instead of holding them up to the old standards of past games. Because I think that's sometimes what we as players do. We hold a lot of companies up to their old standards.
Well, it's hard not to. You know, when you have a pedigree of games, like some of my favorite games are BioWare games. You know, the Mass Effect trilogy.
KOTOR.
Say what you want about Mass Effect, right? Like 3's ending was pretty terrible, but like that journey.
I'm telling you, that was one of, I think, my favorite game series of all time.
Yeah, that journey was amazing. Dragon Age, amazing. Dragon Age 2, I don't like to talk about it. Dragon Age 3, solid. But like those games, like, I mean, shaped me as a gamer. Like I didn't even know what RPGs really were, you know, until I played Mass Effect, until I played Dragon Age.
Depending on how you look at it, Japanese RPGs or American RPGs?
American RPGs. Yeah. Like, I never played. I mean, I played Final Fantasy, but like it.
Right.
You know, that wasn't like, I didn't love Final Fantasy
because it was more of a Japanese RPG.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's just not my style. Like, I like them. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna knock, you know, Final Fantasy, but Dragon Age to me is like one of the best games ever made. Fable, that's not BioWare, but like those games like really made me. Baldur's Gate, you know, they're just
I get you.
It sounds like there's more of a Dungeons and Dragons style of an RPG that appeals to you than what the traditional anime.
Even me too, though.
Stuff.
I'm the same way. Like, I love Final Fantasy. I love that, but you know, Baldur's Gate, Fable,
building
Mass
your
Effect.
own character and making that character like what you want. You know,
was
like,
perfect.
It's to me the pinnacle of gaming is a great RPG. Like something
which would be the reverse for me, because like the Dungeons and Dragons style, I respect them. Those kind of RPGs, I do respect them, but I think because I play more Japanese RPGs, I'm so used to that. So when I think of RPG, I think of beyond Final Fantasy. I think of Suikoden. I think of Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire. You know, Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, even some of the modern ones. Like, I think of those RPGs because
Legend of Dragoon.
I haven't played that one.
And
only reason I didn't play it is because I've never seen that game sold around in my area. Like, nobody carried that. And even that, and it was a Sony published game, so I don't know why I couldn't find it. I just never seen it in any store. Even Target didn't have it. And Target used to carry everything back in the day.
Yeah.
Or most things, I should say.
But yeah, that pedigree though is like, I mean, you just come to expect a level of game from a developer, you know, like
True.
It used to be when BioWare put their name on it, it didn't matter really what it was. I was going to buy it because, I mean, I knew I'd at least enjoy the story, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, I'm gonna buy Dragon Age. I gotta see what's next. But like Anthem was a failure, man. It was bad. Like, and it was bad
they
because
they canceled it all the content.
I don't think Anthem was a failure. I don't think it was a bad game. Same like Mass Effect Andromeda. I think sometimes
on paper it was a failure though. Like that's what
on paper, yeah. But it didn't do well. It didn't succeed that the way they thought it would be, because I kind of think like Anthem and Mass Effect Andromeda, I think it's one of those things that if you stay with it, you can see what direction that they're trying to go in, and you can appreciate that they're trying something different, and regardless of what you got out of it, at least they tried to do something different. At least
I won't deny them that. Like I said, the mechanics were on point. The gameplay was fun, but like there was no like anything after the story. Like and the story was lackluster at best. Like, and I'm sorry, like I can't divide that. Like I can't divide BioWare from their storytelling ability. To me, like that's who they are as a company. Like by all means try new things, but like also your core fan base expects, a certain element from you.
And that may be a problem. And we'll probably have a discussion about that. Josh, what game I'm sorry to cut you off, dude. I got to get to Josh. What game did you or anything that you're looking forward to play like in your backlogs for the holiday or anything?
Okay, so my backlog for the holiday, I have lots. I really want to get to Control. I know that's not really a backlog, but I have it and I want to play it because I have a few friends that are really talking about it. So I love Remedy and I love how they kind of like the storytelling that they do, the weirdness. I love it. So I'm gonna get into that, I think, in the next few weeks.
Okay. Yeah, my plan is to jump into The Last of Us Remastered. I already had the game, but I kind of want to give it a fair shot. I still don't like that intro to that game. Just like, but that intro is just questionable content to the fullest. But I'm gonna try to play it all the way through and suffer what that game has to offer, and everything. But let's jump into what we've been playing. And Larry would cut in oh my god video games at this point. So, Josh, what have you been playing?
Okay, so I played some more Gears 5. I played some Horde. I know we didn't get to play because we had to reschedule, but we are going to play in the next week or so. I did play waves 1 through 50 with a random group of people, believe it or not.
Oh, it's still 50 50
It is 50 waves, yeah, but we did a different difficulty of beginner, so it was super simple, but there was only 4 of us. We actually got through waves 1 through 50, and it wasn't incredibly difficult, and I think that's because we were on beginner.
Yeah.
But no, we had a fun with it, and then I played Gears Pop, the mobile game. In case you guys haven't played it, I know you guys are like mobile games, but actually this is a pretty good game. I enjoy it. I've been playing it every day. I think I'm getting to the end of where I'm like. My kind of like patience with it is running out.
Mm-hmm.
I like the game. I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, okay, it's the same thing over and over, and that's just what games are. But this one is really kind of wearing on me. Eventually, it's going to just get to the point where I'm not playing it anymore. That's coming up real quick, probably in the next couple of days here, at least for a while. Take a little break from it. Okay. And honestly, that's pretty much it. Just those 2 games. I haven't been playing too much, so.
Okay. Dylan, what you been playing?
Recently or since I was last on here? Because
Whatever you want, Dylan. Whatever you want.
I got back into WoW with WoW Classic, which is delicious and frustrating all at the same time. That grind is so fucking real. Like the nostalgia wore off after like level 25. Like I was like, oh right, I forgot being a prot warrior solo leveling is a fucking nightmare in this game.
Question: is this WoW Classic from the about what 2002 2005?
Yeah, like old. It's OG, man. It's the real deal.
Okay.
It's back to the old way of it, and like the coolest thing about it is like that sense of community is there that's been gone for so long in WoW, because retail WoW nowadays you can solo level from 1 to 120 and never say another word to another human being, like the whole time. And some people like that. I don't. I would like a nice blend between like some of the quality of life things that they have in retail and classic WoW. Like bag space would be fucking nice. Some of the regular stuff that's kind of taken for granted now. But that being said, like retail WoW is just, it's good, but classic WoW is better because you have that community. I've gotten back into Destiny with the Shadowkeep DLC. It's all right. I don't think it's anything amazing. It's kind of the same old shit. And honestly, like the story towards the end was kind of bad. Like for what it, like the way that it ended. I understand that it's getting you ready for the raid, but I didn't even realize I was done with the story's content until the next day. Like,
how many missions is it?
It's short. It's not very long at all. What else have I been playing? Been playing this game, The Hunt, with my brother. That's pretty good. Showdown, The Hunt. It's like a.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a battle royale, but it's like teams of 2, and there's monsters, like zombies and all kinds of shit, and you gotta kill that shit. And then you have to kill like a big boss, and it's like a race to kill the big boss. And then once you kill the big boss, you pick up like these scrolls or whatever from the boss, and you have to escape with them. But once you pick those scrolls up, people can see where you are on the map. So it becomes this like very like hunter versus hunted kind of thing. It's pretty sweet. I played some Gears. I'm not a big fan of the Gears series, but it's all right. Man, what else? That's mostly it. I've been playing a lot of WoW. Got back into retail WoW as well. Like I'm playing both WoWs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of WoW. Been playing. Well, recently, I've been playing a lot of Destiny, Borderlands 3. Playing.
Yeah. How are you liking that?
It's amazing. Like I love it. It's Borderlands. The story, not a big fan of. To be honest.
That's what I heard. I heard a lot of people say that. Yeah.
Like it's not as good as 2. Like 2 story was awesome.
Decent. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 not great, but it's Borderlands. It's a looter shooter. It's craziness. It's fun. It's over the top. There's lots of dick and fart jokes and explosions, and they just kind of push the girl power pretty hard in the story, which I mean, I'm not against feminism, but I also don't like it shoved down my throat. Like it's just kind of both ways. I'm like, yeah, girl power, but also like, can I play this game? Like kind of thing. I don't know. It's good. I'm having a lot of fun with it. still play it from time to time. I know a lot of people have like kind of played it and then quit playing it, but I'm still playing it. So yeah, and then I got a bunch of Japanese weird games that I've been playing that are mostly visual novels, but yeah, I like them. So that's that.
All right. For me, for Switch, started up Daemon X Machina. Really enjoying this game. Like, I gotta play some more of it, because I want to get my sword. I want to customize my sword and my mech and everything. Just really loving that game. Like, I already slid it into one of my Game of the Year nominations. Like,
What game is this?
Daemon X Machina, for Switch.
I don't know what that is.
It's a mech game.
That mech game.
I haven't heard of it.
Oh,
Really?
Mm-mm.
that's because Dylan has been on the show for a while. So
Even on the show, dude, they had a demo. It was at E3, Nintendo Direct. Like, people like, wow, that's shocking.
Yeah, I'm not.
been playing Just
Is it-
Cause too, right, Eddie?
No,
Is it,
Just Cause 3.
Just Cause 3.
Is
I'm
it a
saying.
Switch exclusive?
Yeah,
Yes.
And it's Deus Ex Machina?
Damon. Damon.
Oh, okay. I was
Almost-
like, Deus Ex I played on PC.
yeah, no, that's
No.
yeah, it's a whole different game.
yeah, it's a play on the word demon. I always wonder. I had to
Damon.
study that.
Da-
But yeah,
Damon X Machina, huh?
yeah.
All right. I'll have to
Or
look
some
into it.
people say Damon Cross Machine or Damon Machine. I call it Damon X Machina.
So
Uh,
Damon, just so you know, like Eddie, like Damon, that word is a play between. It's a Greek kind of word,
hmm
and so it's a play between like the supernatural, between the nature of gods and humans. So you're kind of like a god, but you're also a human. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, so that's the whole meaning of that word.
Oh, meaning that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like really enjoying that.
What's
Just
the
gotta play
premise of
some-
this game? I'm sorry, I keep interrupting, but I'm interested. When you said mech, my ears kind of perked up.
Yeah, it's like a
Um,
big mech game. It's
it's-
actually good.
Yeah, you are a soldier who go on these missions, and I haven't got farther into it to like really give the story. It's kind of just doing training right now, but there's these aliens that have landed on there, and this one organization is trying to like help them, like kind of somewhat take over. And you and your pilots got to go in and fight them. But like I haven't got
Is
a
it third
chance-
person or first person?
It's third person.
Third.
Okay.
Yeah.
Less interested, but all right.
It's a mix between because one of the people who worked on it is from Armored Core.
Okay.
One of them, I think, is from the Fire Emblem team,
Ooh.
or used to be Fire Emblem team. One of them used to do, I think he did the mecha designs for Gundam.
Oh, that's another thing I
it's-
played. Fire Emblem.
Oh, Fire Emblem, yeah. There's some big names attached to it. So, I say check out the videos of it, and you have a Switch, right?
Oh yeah.
They have a demo on it. They have a prototype demo. So
Threw it in
if-
chat, Dylan, so you can look at the actual splash page on the Nintendo site.
Okay.
yeah, and if you're interested, give it a try on like the prototype one. Just give it a try if you like it or not. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like I'm having fun. I think the more I play and the more weapons and stuff I'll get, I'll probably be able to customize my mech to be like really awesome. I put a picture of how my character looks like on my Twitter and on my Facebook page. So if you want to look at it, you can.
I've always
but-
wanted like a good Gundam game. You know, we haven't
Mhm.
had one in a long time, so that
Yep.
sounds interesting to me.
It is very much like Gundam.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
It's a really cool game, like really great and really great graphics. Like the animation looks really good. Playing Final Fantasy 9, jump back into Breath of the Wild. Working on that. because I had it on Wii U, and then when I got my Switch, I rebought the game again to play it on Switch, and I had to start over. So I got to start from the beginning and like get lost back into that game and stuff. I installed The Last of Us remastered, so I'll be playing that on PS4 a little bit later. For Xbox One, I've been streaming Just Cause 3.
Sure.
And yeah, that frame rate is terrible.
I gotta tell you, man. I mean, I watched Eddie stream some of this, and you're complaining on the Eddie complains on the frame rate, and it is terrible. But he's the only guy I know that complains about a game and keeps playing it.
Well, because I've I had Just Cause 3 on PS4. And I brought it, and I got it cheap on Xbox One, and it's been in my backlog so long. And I remember a lot of people said, because really when I was talking to you, Josh, talking about it, and if you were complaining a little bit, every time I stream about it, I don't do no talking. Like I really try to record it just to show the gameplay and everything, to show that I'm making progress and stuff. But it's like I can't believe like Avalanche made this game. I can't believe the frame rate is dropping like this. Like
no, it was bad. I mean, it was terrible. But I thought at the same time, like, well, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Right, but it's just like they created this game to do all of this. So I'm like, what happened? Like, I feel like they didn't even patch it. Now I do have Just Cause 4 also on Xbox. So I got to get more into that. I think they fixed the frame rate. I think it's optimized. Like, I think it's rated at a straight 30. But I'll be playing that a little bit more. But it's just like I really don't know how they released this game and did not like patch it or anything. Like why? Like I think me and you was or me and another friend was talking, Josh, that it kind of felt like this game was designed for PC.
Sure.
Not for the consoles and stuff, because I've seen some YouTube videos, but they're playing it on PC, and with PC, if you got a higher graphics card, you could do 60 frames per second and not have to deal all of this. And it's just like, why couldn't we have this game?
No, I agree with you, but I was just like, yeah, I get it from that perspective. Yeah, I understand.
So, yeah, I've been working my way through that game, liberating the towns and just trying to get through it and everything. So, yeah, because I think once I'm done with Just Cause 3,
Eddie's doing the God's work, because I'm telling you, if I hated the game as much as Eddie, I wouldn't be playing it.
and it's not that I
know you don't. I know, Eddie. I know what you're saying, but I like razzing you for it, because I'm like, I'm telling you, I would not be playing it.
Oh, trust me.
That's how I am. I'm like, dude, these frames, I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, literally, Mad Max was a struggle on PS4. Like, I don't know what happened, but I was having frame rate issues like crazy. Like, it slowed down to like molasses. I'm like, my game is clean. My game is clean. There's no cracks in it. Why am I walking? It's just like going in slow motion. And I stayed through that whole game till I beat it. Like, once I beat it, I beat that game and I deleted it off my PS4 with the quickness and threw it back in the box. I'm like, I wouldn't. Yes, I was like, I would never play. Like, I got more excitement out of playing Knack 2 than I did Mad Max.
Hey, Knack is the greatest game ever.
And Knack 2 the second one is really good. Like, I played that for 4 days straight, and I was hooked. I'm like, this game is really fun. Like, they really improved it on from the first one. I enjoyed Knack 2. I'm like, I had a blast with that game. It was really good.
Like I said, Eddie, you're doing God's work here, man. Because I'm like, I
Mhm.
would not be doing that.
Yeah, I also did the well, I forgot to say I did the medieval or
Oh, medieval.
medieval.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did the short demo. It's very short. It's okay. It's not bad.
Did you play the first one on PS1, Eddie?
Yes, I did.
It's a
And
dated game for sure.
it's very dated. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
ooh, these
Is that the one
controls.
with the skeleton and stuff?
Yeah. It's like a
They're
guy who
remaking it?
like yeah, it's like it's more it is not really a remake, is it? It's more like a port, isn't it?
No, it's a remake.
Okay.
Yeah, they it's an actual remake of the first game because everything, the graphics, the engine,
Everything's
the moves,
overhauled.
everything is overhauled.
Nice. I
Because it
loved
feels
that game
faster.
when I was a kid, dude. I love that game.
I don't think it holds up
No?
because what Eddie's saying right now is what I had like two other friends tell me. If you love this game as a kid, just don't play it again.
Just don't play it. All right.
Yeah. They're like,
I mean,
you know what?
it's
No,
if-
it's a good game, but it's just I just think it's maybe
Like
just
Crash Bandicoot, like just let it be.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
I think the thing with the demo was just that I understand that it was short. I get that, but it was too short. Like I didn't even get a chance to like take the game in. You know, like
right.
give me at least about 2 or 3 levels, change it up and see what I'm gonna get myself into. It didn't even do that. I'm just like, I don't know how well this gonna do. But it was okay. It wasn't nothing like big and exciting or anything. It was just like, okay, this is gonna be a game, and that's it. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I'll be, like I said, next week I'll be jumping into The Last of Us Remastered. Hopefully, I'm trying to finish Just Cause 3, but you know, with me, I'm trying to do some of the lot side stuff, like liberate a lot of the towns, and then get to the end of the game. I think I'm 3/4 done almost with it. I just got to do a little bit more stuff, and then when I finish it, I'll be done with the game, and then I could start playing something else. Because I finished Mafia 3 also, because I'm looking at it right now. I finished Mafia 3 on Xbox, but I had it on PS4 because I got it for Black Friday for like really cheap, and I think I'm gonna just replay Mafia 3 on PS4, but make different decisions that I did for Xbox One. So yeah. So Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, Dylan.
What?
Oh, I'm just making sure. I'm just
Making sure we're still here.
Yeah, it's like so with that, everybody, we are going to take a break and we're going to get into the news. Break. Hello, everybody. We are back here at World 11 Podcast. We are going to get into some good old news, and there was a kind of a lot that happened. So, one of the biggest ones, and it's kind of weird that this one like kind of dropped out of nowhere. PlayStation 5 got announcement date is going to be releasing in holiday 2020, and there are going to be some changes to the control. They didn't show off the system, they didn't show off the controller, and they didn't announce any games or anything. It's just, you know, came out, and yeah, that announcement happened and no one said anything. They're just like, oh, it's coming out the holiday.
Well,
That
they
was
didn't really tell us anything new. I mean, they told us a few things, but I mean, in my opinion, it's just getting the kind of like the shock out of the way. So when they actually come out and start talking about it, everyone wants to hear about games.
Yeah, but like, why didn't nobody like? A lot of people said they should have just did this for State of Play. Like people were.
I don't think so. I like the way they did this because it was just like a facts. It was just like, okay, this is what PlayStation 5 is. We now know it's called PlayStation 5, which we kind of were expecting. You know, we were expecting it was going to be called that, but we didn't really know. And we know that it's backward compatible, so we know that.
Yes.
We know, but they did go into the controller a lot. They said it has adaptive feed, the haptic feedback in the triggers and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Now, I know a lot of people lost their minds on that, but was I the only one that realized that Xbox had that?
Right.
Yeah.
And, Forza had that before. And it was only like the first, 5 games actually used it. And then everybody was just kind of like, oh, well, we're not going to. I don't know if it was just they didn't develop for it
that
or.
feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, oh, yeah, we could do that, but we're not going to.
Yeah, like it. Ryan McCaffrey from IGN, he mentioned he mentioned that and was giving examples of other companies using a feature like that, and then after some time don't even bring it up. So people are going to wonder how long Sony is going to be using it.
Because I mean, Forza is like the best game that used that, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the haptic feedback.
Because when you spun off the road, it felt like you were on the dirt.
Yeah.
And then they in the new Forza, then they just kind of not use that anymore, or they use it. We just don't care.
They probably used it, but I think people didn't notice.
Yeah, we just got used to it.
Yeah.
So either way, I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they're going for it.
Dylan, what was your thoughts when you heard the announcement? Did you?
I didn't even hear the announcement.
Yeah, it kind of just came out of nowhere. I seen it on Twitter and then news stories and stuff like Game Informer and them. They started posting the news about it, but it was just release date holiday 2020, and it's just it should have been treated with more excitement instead of just a press release.
But I mean, it was kind of that though, Eddie. It was just kind of okay, here's what it is. It has built-in ray tracing. It's not software. It's going to use optical media, which we already knew.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have a 4K Blu-ray. So finally, has a 4K Blu-ray. Has the haptic feedback controller.
I thought PS4 had. I thought Pro had 4K Blu-ray.
No.
It's only Xbox One S and OX.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Sony
the Pro is just a regular Blu-ray player.
Really? I thought it was 4K.
No, it's not.
Yee.
Yeah, I know, and they own it. That's the
crazy thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot, and this is how much people don't invest in physical media anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No one even really cared. But there's a few people for one, I love physical media. I know you guys, some Eddie does too. I know Dylan's kind of in and out about it, but especially for a 4K Blu-ray, if you really love a movie, that's the best way to watch it.
Yes.
Facts.
I still buy my movies on Blu-ray, DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah, I try to if I can.
Yeah. Unless if I can't find it, then I'll go and rent it. For $1.99 or $2 or something, I'll rent it. Other than that, I still buy my movies.
This beer right here is god awful.
Outside
Fruitsicle. Why did you think that was going to be good, Dylan?
I don't know. I was it sounds
Dylan's
good.
in his 20s, guys. He thinks this stuff's going to be good yet.
I like fruitsicles. Let's try it. Well, I'm over at my friend's. I'm house sitting, so I'm drinking all of his beer. This was all right. Is that going to focus? There we go.
Tapestry, Mr. Orange.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's got blood oranges, chamomile, and rose hips. I guess that's all right. This is garbage, but I'm gonna drink it because I don't waste beer.
Well, we're gonna move on to the next story. Facebook integration is no longer available on PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 users, and this story comes from Game Informer. PlayStation 4 users will no longer be able to use Facebook integration to share content or connect with friends, according to Sony's support website. As of October 7th, the video game publisher has yet to give a reason for the split from the social media giant, but it assured fans that the console share feature will remain unchanged. However, serving ties with Facebook eliminates an entire network of people to share content with. PlayStation 4 share features will remain the same, except Facebook will no longer be offered as a destination to share screenshots, video, music, trophy details, or links to gameplay broadcasts, reads Sony's support page. Those who relied on the console's Facebook integration to connect with friends will have to readjust. Players can no longer connect with their Facebook friends on PlayStation 4 and will have to find a new profile picture for their online PlayStation accounts. If you're having issues with your PlayStation account, be sure to check out Sony's support page for how to update your profile and how to share with friends.
Yeah.
I didn't use
No.
the feature. I know some people did use it. Some of my friends, they did use it. But yeah, I didn't use this. So, any thoughts, guys, about it?
I'm kind of ambivalent about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just kind of stayed away from Facebook integration. I've honestly stayed away from social media integration on all my consoles because I don't really care that much about it.
Mhm.
That's just me.
Same.
I mean, I use Twitter and Facebook for my Switch, like to post pictures and stuff and put a comment thing.
Okay, I
Like
can see that.
I do stuff like that, have a little fun. Because sometimes I'd be like, hey, I beat this game, or this is my character, this is how cool it look and everything. For my Xbox, like I do stream for Mixer, but I download that video also and go onto my computer and edit stuff and try to connect it and try to learn some of the video editing software and stuff and put it up there. Just to have fun, I do that. But like with my PlayStation, I really don't use it for anything else. I
The
use
only
it for
time I
Twitch.
ever used it was Final Fantasy 15, and I just kept uploading ridiculous, stupid shots of the four of those guys, like hanging out by the car and doing so. I just constantly did it.
And maybe that's what some people were doing with Facebook, posting pictures and stuff and everything. Because I think one of the pictures I posted on Facebook, if I did use it for PS4, was the God of War when it becomes monochrome and he's like walking up some stairs and it's black and white, but they got some gold in it. Like I thought that moment was like really cool, and I posted a picture there. But other than that, and this hasn't been a big uproar. I think people were just confused that they did it, and it's weird.
I don't even think people care, Eddie. It's just like if they took it away, okay. I don't think the people that actually used it are gonna
be upset.
They're not gonna be upset because they're like, okay, well, I'm fine with that. I mean, that's how I look at it.
I think it's kind of weird. A lot of this stuff is coming out because it feels like they just did it without telling anybody.
Well, they did say, I mean, to be fair, Facebook did say that they were working with Sony to try to alleviate this problem eventually.
And I don't know. Problem?
I think it was a licensing issue that Facebook was licensing with Sony.
Okay.
Their app. And I think Sony just said, no, we're not licensing it. And they just pulled it. And so I think Facebook is going to be surprised at how little people actually care about this.
Was it around the time that the story came out, or they announced that like a few months before?
It was like right after the story came out.
Okay.
That they announced that they're working with Sony to try to get the app back on, everything back up and working. But right now it's just not going to happen, basically.
Okay.
Because I read a couple stories like that they were that they had announced that they're working with Sony to alleviate this problem.
Okay. Yeah, like this one was just weird. I think it was just like it came out of nowhere. It's one of those weird things. And Sony's been kind of doing that in a weird way. Like with now the developers, they could do crossplay, like with all of their games. People leaving Sony with some new people coming in, and it's just like, what is this weird transition going on?
And that's what
with
it
Sony?
is. It's a transition. I mean, Sony is transitioning. I mean, it's no secret that as a company, they were having some major issues. I mean, they had their movie, Sony Entertainment Pictures. I mean, they were making movies, but they weren't really turning that much of a profit as a whole. Their TV division was doing terrible. I mean, they were hemorrhaging money on that in that division alone. Basically, their Sony, the PlayStation division, is the most profitable division that they had.
Yes.
And it was making money for them. So I honestly think we're seeing the restructuring of the company to kind of like coincide with what's profitable. And they're turning really into more of a Western facing company where they're not telling us everything.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just doing it. I mean, like a Japanese company like Nintendo, they would tell us every little thing that they're doing, and everybody would be like, "Oh, okay, well that's happening, that's happening, that's happening."
Or they'll put it like in a direct, or they'll make an announcement
right. Sony's
before it happens.
Sony's just doing it, just like a lot like Microsoft does. Microsoft just does stuff. I mean, Microsoft is obviously an American company, and they've been structured that way for years. But they just kind of like do it, and then they tell us afterwards, and that's kind of what Sony's doing too. I think they're restructuring a lot, and I mean, I don't envy the position that any of these companies are in, having to try to get their shareholders' money, and now all of a sudden transitioning to a new console generation, right when you got 100 million plus people basically playing your console. You're gonna like try to make it worthwhile for them to transfer over, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
I look forward to the day when there's like crossplay on everything. Like, let's just let people play games with each other. Like, still have your exclusives. I don't think that's going anywhere.
No.
But like,
and it's coming, Dylan. That's a good story because that came out of beta.
Yeah,
What?
That's a good. That's it. Dylan didn't even know, but that's a good.
Crossplay is now available to all developers on PlayStation.
oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
that
they
came out of
announced
the
it
beta.
last week.
Good.
This was the time when Sean Layden announced that he was stepping down, and the guy in Britain, he was stepping down. Those two were stepping down, and then they announced that they were doing crossplay and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's all coincidence that all these people are leaving, and then all this stuff gets announced. But it's kind of, I know it feels like a conspiracy theory, but I don't know, man. I mean, it seems like this massive restructuring was all going to happen anyway.
Yeah, and we'll see how this affects PlayStation 5, because
I don't think it can be bad for it. I mean,
it can't be bad for it, but it's going to, not being at Tokyo Game Show, not being at E3,
right.
these changes and everything. It's just like this is starting to bring, and this is a big assumption, is bringing some confusion and questions about what Sony's doing, because like when we discussed that they sold the most, they won this generation and they sold the most. If they're in this top position, why is all these changes happening?
I just think it's a restructuring, and we're just going to see it. But I mean, that's just me.
Do you think it's a restructuring for the whole company?
I do. I do think so, because they have to. I think the company
itself is restructured.
Yeah, I think the entire company had to restructure because sitting on its laurels from way back in the day when it had Sony Pictures, and they had their TV division, and they had their music division. All this stuff was just firing on all cylinders. Well, now it's not all making money for them. And as a company, they were overbloated, overextended, and they were hemorrhaging money, and they have to pull it back. They just have to. And I think that's what we're seeing now.
Okay. Well,
That's
we
what I
shall
think. But
yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see what happens in the future. And I must say that this is more of a Japanese company because this Sony is based in Japan.
Yeah.
They have different business practices than they have in America. So I
Absolutely.
think that's why there's the questions and concerns of what's going on with that. But we're going to get into our last story, which has kind of been the hot topic. Blizzard has banned a Hearthstone player for a year and took it away his prize money. And the hashtag boycott Blizzard, started going on for almost 2 days. At the time of the recording, you can't see it anymore, but yeah, the story goes, and this is from Destructoid. Blizzard has imposed harsh sanctions against a professional Hearthstone player after he expressed support for Hong Kong protesters in their ongoing fight for liberation from the Chinese government. During a live interview over the weekend, Ing-Hwa Chung, who plays as Blitzchung, concluded by removing his protester-style goggles and face mask and exclaiming, "Liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our age." For his actions, Blizzard has levied a 1-year ban that prohibits Blitzchung from competing in Hearthstone esports tournaments. Blizzard has also removed Blitzchung from the Hearthstone Grandmasters circuit and stripped him of all earnings from Grandmasters Season 2. Additionally, the two casters who conducted the interview have both had their contracts terminated. To justify its ruling, Blizzard is falling back on Grandmaster competitions rules, which states, engaging in any act that, in Blizzard's sole discretion, brings you into public disrepute of offense a portion or group of the public or otherwise damages Blizzard image will result in removal from Grandmaster, a reduction of the player's prize total to $0. In addition to other remedies which may be provided for under the handbook in Blizzard's website terms. Of course, Blizzard isn't actually concerned about following the letter of the law to a T. Blizzard is worried about its good standing with the Chinese government. China is an unfathomable, lucrative market from a business perspective. If the Chinese government outlaws anything related to Hearthstone, essentially scrubbing it from existence throughout the entire country, Blizzard stands to lose untold profits. This isn't the only recent example or even the most high-profile example of a huge organization kowtowing to the demands of the Chinese government. The NBA is in the same sticky situation after Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey tweeted, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong." Basketball is a constantly growing market in China, and the Rockets are one of the most popular teams ever since Chinese censor Yao Ming became an international superstar in the early 2000s. Everyone involved, the NBA, the Rockets, Murray himself, and even Rocket players have had to apologize and distance themselves from that 7-word tweet. It might not matter. It seems as though the Chinese government has evoked a blackout of anything Rockets related. Tencent, who is the official digital partner of the NBA in
I
China,
don't think we need the whole story, Eddie. Like,
has suspended all reporting and streaming of Rocket content. Yeah.
make sure to credit whoever wrote that too.
Yeah, and they were just going through everything about the because he was supposed to receive $500,000 for the tournament, but I think there was something called PC Guild or something like that. They said that they were going to give Blitzchung the $500,000.
My thing is, I'm more disturbed by this. I'm not going to get too political, but I just feel that American companies should hold somewhat of American ideals, at least somewhat of the ideals that made them rich.
Mm-hmm.
And they shouldn't, not even from the idea of it's a communist regime, which is China. They hold their people down, and that's kind of like what they do. But it's even from somebody that use their products, like Blizzard. basically took this guy and just hang him out to dry, which I don't think is cool in either way. But they're just taking their profit. They don't want to lose the profit from China,
Yes.
and they're willing to like steamroll one guy for it. But
Yep.
And they did
It's-
say that Magic the Gathering, the arena, I think, is another big game in China.
yeah, it's terrible. I mean, I understand these games are big, but at what point do you say this is not right? You know?
Mhm.
And I just, like I said, I personally don't want to get too political in it, but I just feel that they should stand up and say, you know what, this is wrong, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody was wondering why did the announcers get fired and they didn't do nothing. They didn't even know that
Well,
he was
because
going
they're
to.
part, because Eddie, they're part of the problem.
Yeah,
And
they're
that's
trying to
like-
save their
that's-
asses.
That's China. You see, and that's the way China would do it. It's like China's demanding that certain people just are gone. And they're
Even
not.
though, because I wonder if Blizzard was setting them up to do the interview.
No, I don't
with
think
them.
I don't think they are, Eddie. Like I think what happened is like somebody said something and all of a sudden these people in the corporate ivory tower are saying like, "Wow, we're going to get banned from China and we're going to lose, you know,
all that money.
all that
China
money every year. So how do we stop it right now?"
But I think if everybody was just confused everybody was confused by why the interviewers got fired, even because they didn't know that he was going to give that answer. I thought
Right.
they probably thought they was just going to ask him,
They
you know,
just
how
wanted
does it feel?
It's just a surgical cut. It's like if you got cancer,
Mhm.
you take some good cells too, you know? Like and they just basically said, "Oh, we're just going to cut all this out and we're never going to talk about this again."
Because they said that it went to a commercial or ad or something.
Yeah, they like cut it
Uh,
right out. Like it's like all of a sudden going, you know,
Right.
like you say a swear word on TV, and all of a sudden it's
Right, 'cause-
muted. You know, you're gone.
Because you just seen the video that the two guys they just like go underneath the table. They're just like, wait, what's going on? Like,
Right. Because they probably knew what's going to happen.
well, it looks like they didn't expect him to say that.
Well, of course they
Um,
didn't expect him, but once he did, they're like, "Oh shit." You know,
And
I think they understood maybe how bad it was for them. I just have a real problem with American companies that are based here
Mm.
that make their money here, basically not really even collaborating, but putting the profit above an ideal capitalistic ideals and things that made them their money the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a problem with it.
And-
On a fundamental level, on a human level, I totally support what the Hong Kong people are doing, because they're rising up against oppression, and that's what we should as Americans, and like I think American companies should really stand up for that. There has to be a point when you have to say, you know what, we don't care about the profit because they're making enough money.
Right. This
Yeah.
is a human,
It's a
issue.
human issue. It's a human rights issue that China has been guilty of for years. I mean, how many millions of people have they basically? I mean, they're putting Muslims in concentration camps. If you're not quote unquote normal in their eyes,
Mm.
they'll execute you.
Well,
You know,
I do wonder with the boycott Blizzard thing, because I was kind of like, well, they're about to come out with Overwatch for Switch, and I think, I don't know, I wonder how that's going to turn out. Is people going to now not buy Overwatch, or people going to trade? Well, we haven't heard any stories of people trading their games in. I know some people have deleted their games because they bought it physically, but like, what happens now with Blizzard? Like, do you think we'll see some of the damage that will happen in the coming months, or this was just pass by and people will still support Blizzard and still buy the games to play 'em?
Yeah, I mean it's not really gonna affect Blizzard in that sense. Like it's gonna be like, they might take a small hit, but
Mhm.
the bottom line is like they're making a shit ton of money in China, and they'd rather not lose that market than stick by human ideals, which American ideals, which is just cowardice. And in all honesty, like
Right.
it's disgusting. Like now, am I gonna not play their games? No, I'd be a fucking liar if I said I was gonna stop playing WoW tonight because I don't
Right.
support that. That being said, I don't have to agree with their ideals, and I don't have to buy their deck shit. Like, I already own the content I own. I'm not one of these idiots that's gonna go burn a Kaepernick jersey because the dude's kneeling if I own his jersey. Like, I paid my
Right.
money for that. Like, it's just what it is. But I'm not. I'm frankly, it's just disgusting to me
It is.
to
Yeah.
step aside from what makes your company great in the first place, what makes it's the people. And on some level you have to draw a line, and be like, listen, what you guys are doing in Hong Kong is disgusting. We're not going to support it. I would, if I were them, like, to kind of play both sides of the coin, because you are a business, you still need to make that money. Like, what I would do is I'd be like, you're still gonna get your money, dude, but like, what you did is against our policy. I am gonna suspend you for X amount of time. But also, like, we don't like I don't know what the word is, but we don't disagree with what you're saying.
Which I think they stated something in their support page. They were just like, they believe in people who want to protest and
Well, they
fight
say that,
for
but
rights
then
and
they
stuff.
say
took
that,
all his
but then-
money from him.
Right.
I
Exactly.
mean, that's like a total bullshit
Yeah.
corporate response.
Yeah.
which
Right.
I don't appreciate.
And
I mean-
and just let everybody know that this is stuff that they said on their support page, not
Right.
Blizzard themselves. Like,
Right.
journalists been trying to get comments from people at Blizzard, even their PR, and everything gets referred to their support page. So, just want to preface that.
It's just a really shitty situation, and I don't know if it got way worse. I think when a huge corporation just says, basically to a person, "F you."
Yeah, and that's why I wonder what's going to happen in the future. Like, because this party will blow over. If I was Blizzard, I would have still gave him the $500,000.
Oh yeah,
Just
give him the
still
money.
Give him
Yeah.
the money. You could still ban him because he did come there. He played the game and he did the work that he wanted to do. He came as a champion. I think now that if this is going to be Blizzard's thing, when they have the next esport, before they go into anything, they need to get on that mic and they need to say, this is the things that have to happen. You can't say this, you can't say that. We want to make sure that everybody know that if you break our rules that we have set, you will not get the prize money and you will be banned from the tournament.
Right. There is a better way of doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I could, as a company, still stand by my employee that has beliefs, and also be like, hey, like, this is hurting our public appearance, like, with one of our major income sources. What we're gonna do is we're still gonna pay you, we're gonna suspend you for X amount of time, and we're going to release a statement saying, hey, this is what's going on. We support our people's beliefs, but we don't want it to be broadcast in this manner or whatever. Like, there is a better way of doing corporate than what the fuck they're doing. I don't know. It's sick in a lot of ways, because I would expect a company that, might do very well in the Asian markets. I mean, they do.
Mhm.
You look at StarCraft, that's huge in China, Korea, Japan. Like, it's a big seller for them. but also like, bitch, you're an American-made company. Like, your roots are here. Like, and you should kind of stand with the people that are being oppressed. Like, that's kind of what.
It's kind of what we were like. It's kind of like what happened to us, right?
Yeah, like it's kind of what we're all about, you know.
No,
that's the problem I have with it. I mean, honestly, you know.
Yeah. Well, we shall see what happens. With the next announcements of games, with their next, because I feel like with this 1 year ban for him, he'll just miss, I believe, this esport, and I think they'll allow him to play again.
Of course they will,
but it kind of depends on what he decides to do. You know, he might be banned from the esports tournament, but it's not like he can't go anywhere else and play a esports tournament.
Well, I'm thinking he might be banned from China for good. Like, he might not be able to go to China.
Right.
So, I mean, if it's in the U.S., of course he'll be able to come here. But, you know, the Chinese government might just say, no, you're a dissident or whatever, and they're not going to talk. They're not going to want him in there, and that's their choice.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. But everybody, that has been the show. Dylan, I want to thank you. Josh, I want to thank you. Before we go, do you guys want to plug anything?
My butt.
Wow. Yes,
that's usually Larry's line. So yeah, okay.
had to throw a Larryism in, you know.
Hilarious. Josh, did you want to plug anything?
No, I know Larry would ask when I'm gonna do command prompt again, and it's gonna start, but I've got so much shit going on in my own life right now.
Completely forgot about sites and strats. Like that's coming down the line in a year.
Whenever you got time.
In a galaxy far, far.
Yeah, Dylan actually bowed out way before I did, so he still got more content than I do.
My life has just been one
show.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of months for me. It's going great, you know, things are looking up, but it's busy, and I'm kind of focused on getting my shit together. So it's you know, like I miss the podcast. I miss my sites and strats. I miss my video games. But you know, I gotta take care of the wife. I gotta get my degree. I gotta do all the things that I'm working towards. So, yeah. And honestly, hopefully this new gig allows me to have a little bit more time to do those things. So.
Yeah,
good. And everybody, Kathleen could have joined us, but we do miss her. Hopefully, she will be on next episode. Larry wasn't able to make it, but hopefully he will be back on next episode. I would not be here next week, but if the show gets pushed to another day where I could make it, I'll do my best to be on. But everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend.
I'll probably make it to the next one.
You guys can find me on Twitter at @RetroCode. You can check out my streams on Mixer and on Twitch at the Lyrical One if you guys care to see some of my content there. But everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on World 1-1 Podcast. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
See ya.